Hello. What a surprise. We're all back again. Welcome to the Vergecast. Someone got an email.
Things are off to a great start.
Things are, as always, off to a rollicking, exciting start. But this is the Vergecast, the flagship podcast of theverge.com. That's what I've started calling. We have so many now.
Yep.
Dieter's our admiral. Because he's wearing a fucking eye patch for some reason.
Doesn't fit.
But anyway, this is the Vergecast where we talk about technology, culture. There's going to be a lot of T-Pain conversation from Jake today. Jake's just knocking into things.
Well, I'm already getting rambunctious just thinking about the time I had with T-Pain.
Anyway, I'm Nilay Patel. I'm the guy in the Vergecast. I'm sitting with Dieter Bohn.
Also a guy.
Jake is here. Jake Kastrenakes is here. Fumo.
Hi.
What's up, girl?
Doing great. Having a banner week.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why is it banner week?
I don't know. I'm just in a good mood.
Yeah.
We had an extra day off. We did. Racked did.
Oh, yeah. No, the Verge sort of did. Kind of. I don't know. Look, Gadget News doesn't sleep, baby.
That's one thing I've learned.
Phrase.
That's the only one thing I've learned here.
There's always new gadget news.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is. Fundamentally, that's what we do. Anyhow.
Dieter.
This eye patch is baller.
It actually is not. It's like suede.
No, it's
Well, I'm
leather,
wearing it
but
in
it's like a
reverse
nice leather.
because it was meant for the right eye. But I have a contact that's the wrong contact in my right eye.
Yeah.
So I have a prescription on different prescriptions for both eyes. I put the wrong one in my right eye, so it's not strong enough.
You put the
still get
left and the
some
right.
vision.
Yeah,
Yeah. Is it weaker or stronger?
it's weaker.
Ooh, that's weird. That's bad.
Yeah,
Stronger, it's like for the first 10 minutes,
you're like, I am
you're like,
invincible.
I can fucking see everything. And then you get a terrible headache. But that 10 minutes,
Yeah.
it's pure power. And then your body's like, you know what? I don't think you should have this much power. I think that you should have a crippling headache instead.
I think I'm not going to keep this eye patch on.
I mean, do you, man? First of all, it's a radio show, so no one will know. Second of all, just feel powerful in whatever way you need to. Anyway, a lot of stuff happened this week, but we have to just start with Jake's adventure. So let me. Can I set the? Who's beeping? Is that you?
Yeah, I'm turning it off.
Okay. I'll turn mine off too. So let me set the stage. So we get a call. What day did I email you? Is it Saturday?
Yeah.
Saturday.
So you know,
Wait.
Well, it started. I think your first email to me was Friday night.
Friday night.
Yeah.
Late Friday night. So we're back from CES.
Yep.
Everyone's very tired.
Yeah.
Literally, people from the Verge are going to the hospital after CES. Right. I had been out of town. I was on the show last week, as you may have noticed. I had been out of town. I come back. I'm like, weekend's here. We're going to let the team rest, relax, recover. We're not going to check our email. And I get a call. And basically, the call is like, do you want to go meet T-Pain? To which I believe, as anybody would reply, I said yes.
I can't believe
Yes.
you didn't send me.
I mean, it was. I should have sent you.
You should have sent me.
But anyway,
Not that
we'll get
Jake
there.
didn't do a fabulous
Nicola.
job.
Yeah,
but
wow, burn.
come on.
Yeah, after commending me.
The intersection of T-Pain and Nicola.
Yeah.
The Verge.
That's where we live. I'm sure we'll have additional
You
opportunities.
have to.
T-Pain
pace
loves the
Project-
Verge.
Project
That's
Overlord.
amazing.
Project. What's it called?
Operation Figurehead.
Operation
God
Figurehead.
damn it.
You have to pace it. You can't just jump right into the end goal of it.
Piece by piece. I know.
Yeah.
No, when it's like, when you're like, okay, Nicola, I need you and Kanye to take the Virgin Galactic flight. That's when it'll be
Yeah,
done.
that's peak Nicola.
That's
Yeah.
when we'll be done.
No, and no other staffers of the Verge will murder you for that opportunity. Anyhow, so I was like, yes, we will hang out with T-Pain. Why? Which I realize now is like the follow-up question that I should have asked first. Like, why would you like to meet? Anyway, turns out there's a new version of GarageBand. T-Pain, avowed GarageBand user, wrote and produced "I'm in Love with a Stripper" on GarageBand. It's true fact.
Yeah, I mean, I think like most, if not all, of his first album apparently assembled with GarageBand.
Crazy information. So yes, we're gonna go to T-Pain. Okay, you got it. GarageBand's coming out Wednesday. You're interviewing T-Pain on Monday. So like 1,000 emails are sent in the space of 2 hours. Who's going?
Yes.
Is anybody alive? Like, is the Verge video team alive? Was a reasonable question last Friday.
Yeah.
People are excited. We send Jake down. Jake, this is where I'm going to kick it to you. Jake walks into T-Pain's house to demo the new GarageBand.
We don't even realize this is T-Pain's house. Me and two of our video team members, we get down to Atlanta. We're on no sleep. We're in an IHOP, and we're like, we don't know where we're going. We just know that we have a meeting with T-Pain.
we were just like, get to Atlanta and we'll figure it out.
Yeah. So finally, we get the location, and we look it up on Google Maps. And we're like, this is residential. And yeah, turns out to be T-Pain's mansion. So we drive up in our like busted rental car, and
What time of day is it?
it is at like 5:30 at this point.
PM.
Yes.
Okay.
And then what I believe is a Rolls Royce pulls up while we're waiting outside his gate, and we're like, well, that must be T-Pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
he's
what
like,
I say every time I see a Rolls Royce.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. So he's like, "Oh, hey, just head in. I'm gonna buzz you through the gate. I gotta run some errands. I'll be right back." We're like, "Okay, cool." So yeah, we just make our way into T-Pain's house.
Did you make
Did
yourself
someone
at
let
home?
you in? Was there
Yes,
a staff?
there was someone there. So that's the thing. There is like, I'm very confused by the setup of T-Pain's house because there
Okay.
appear to be many people like living / working there.
Yeah. It's everything that you dreamed, isn't it?
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm shaking.
So
with this.
I believe it was his brother-in-law who let us into the house, but
Keep it in the family. Okay.
who may also live there. He was also psyched. He's a huge Verge fan.
Yeah. T-Pain's a Verge nerd. It's
yeah.
the best
Yeah, it was
information
really-
I've ever gotten.
really
Is,
crazy.
is he a listener of the Vergecast?
I don't know. We don't
Did
make
not
it in
inquire.
GarageBand. So.
Yeah.
Hey, T-Pain.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone calls him Pain.
Oh.
Yeah.
I got to a point on the email chains on Friday and Saturday where his publicist and manager were just like, Pain will be available at 6 p.m. And I was like, that sentence can be read many ways. But I'm going to read it in the way that suggests that we're all friends with T-Pain. And we're just calling him Pain.
I don't think T-Pain would not be friends with somebody. He is exceptionally friendly human. Yeah. Very, very talkative. Bounces around from subject to subject. It's great.
Wait. Okay, so you get there. The brother-in-law lets you in. Now what?
So he kind of brings us into the lower level, the basement, and you know.
But let me just interrupt for 1 second.
Yes.
The goal was we're going to interview T-Pain about apps and music, and then we're going to go in the studio and T-Pain's going to like make a track for us using the new GarageBand. He's going to like T-Pain's going to do the hands-on.
Yes.
So that's
Yeah,
where
yeah.
that was the idea.
So for everyone who's going to complain, like, all they do is talk about nothing, like that. Okay, that's the point.
Yeah, no, that was
No,
the
in
plan.
about 2 minutes, we're going to make Nicola use GarageBand too.
Yeah,
It's going to be
yeah.
great. And
So
then you will have joined the elite company of T-Pain on
Hot
the
tracks
Verge.
coming.
We're basically just like scoping out T-Pain's house for cool stuff to like do a video shoot. And so like we check out his studio. His studio engineer is just like working in there. It looks extremely expensive. We leave. We go to like, we check out, T-Pain has like an arcade where he has like, you know, sit down racing machines. Might have been some pinball. I don't remember. Yeah, there's like a hallway filled with blown up magazine covers that have his face on it. There's like his dog is just like chilling out.
What kind of dog?
somewhere.
What kind of dog? What kind of dog?
Big dog, little dog.
It was, I want to say it was just like, maybe it was a pug or something.
Yeah, little dog.
Yeah, it was not the friendliest of dogs, but also there was, you know, there were a lot of us. Maybe we excited. Yeah, so then we go into T-Pain's like bar / party area where there are multiple stripper poles.
I actually am having a hard time inhaling. I'm like so excited.
Multiple stripper balls?
Well, if you're going to have a party,
Yeah,
one stripper is not a party. I think we can all agree. One stripper is just like,
That's some budget shit.
that's just a sad Tuesday.
Sad Tuesday.
You have very different Tuesdays than I do.
Yeah, they're not sad. I don't know what that means. All right, carry on.
Yeah, but you know, the space is set up for a nice evening. He has karaoke. There's a pool table.
Yeah.
Many hookah. What is the thing called? Is
Hookah?
They're called
Hookahs.
hookahs.
Is it just
It's a thing.
hookah?
Yeah.
It's not hookah like
Pot.
Hookah
pot.
apparatus.
it is just several hookahs.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Someone's going to correct me in any second, but don't worry.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we're setting up. Finally, T-Pain comes down, introduces himself, and he's like, "Cool, I'll be right back." So like we finished setting up. We kind of just wait around a little bit. T-Pain comes back. He's like, "Oh, I was just playing video games." We're like, "Okay."
Did he tell you which one?
He just took a game break?
I think he said he was trying out something called League. I wasn't sure what
Like
that
League of Legends?
Probably.
God.
Wait, T-Pain's like a
T-Pain
LOL addict?
Is it? Yeah, is League of Legends the big one? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he was trying it out. He wasn't sure how he felt about it though.
I think the way he felt about it was that when he had any scrap of time, he needed to go grind out some.
Okay, well
some
that's
LOL.
what he'd been doing, and he said
I don't know
like,
if that's a phrase, by the way.
He was definitely like
Grind out some LOL.
doing some PC
I
gaming.
accept it.
Do you know League of Legends is so big they sell out stadiums so people can watch other people play it? It's one of those games.
Okay.
Like people are deeply addicted to it. Anyway,
Yeah, so then we sat down, we chatted for a while.
yeah, just hung out.
Yeah, I know. I mean, but that's what it's like.
Did
though.
he
was-
offer you like any beverages,
He did
refreshments?
actually. Yeah. So we sat down, and first thing he offers us a beer. I think the video team did want to have beers with T-Pain. I was a little nervous about interviewing him while drinking a beer, so I did not accept the beer. No one else accepted the beer.
What kind of beer?
This is the weird thing. Very well stocked fridge of alcohol. Very fine liquors beside it. T-Pain pulls out a Bud Light, which, I guess he's just hanging out with us in his basement.
I mean, he's not going to get donked.
I don't
He's
know.
got to go back to his game.
Yeah. So anyway, T-Pain starts drinking a Bud Light, starts messing around with the chair situation. He had these chairs that they were extremely squeaky. He was unhappy about that. And then we started talking for a while, and we started out talking about GarageBand, which is cool because he is like, I do think he's legitimately very psyched about GarageBand in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some of the most interesting stuff we talked about was just like the music industry and how you get music out there in
Right.
2016.
I liked his line where he's like, when leaks happen, and they happen to everyone, I just pretend that they were on purpose. That's pretty good.
No, he's like, yeah, so much stuff that, I feel like so many musicians would not be forthcoming about. He was just happily like, I think it's very interesting that he's like, I'm not going to make money on streaming services. It doesn't matter because that's going to help me sell out shows and like sell merchandise.
Right.
Like that is where my money comes from. The studio or the label makes their money from Spotify. Like they can complain.
Right.
But it's, there's no circumstance under which I'm going to make money from streaming music, so I'm not going to worry about it. But,
Yeah.
it was very interesting.
He's also like a deep nerd.
He's a huge nerd. Yeah, he said that he had been building computers for people back in Tallahassee, and apparently one person couldn't pay him, gave him a CD of audio plugins.
Cracked, stolen, pirated audio
Yes,
plugins.
and that-
as payment for a home built PC. So like T-Pain's like screwing
Yeah.
together PC towers.
He
and the
still
guy
builds his
couldn't
own,
pay him.
own computers, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes, and on that CD that he received in payment for building a computer was autotune.
Yeah. And he was like, that's my sound.
Yeah, and somehow, that fortuitous,
Pain.
yeah.
God, I wish we had a soundboard here so I could make the shorty sound.
We need to. Why does anybody have the T-Pain app downloaded?
Probably. Duh. All right, so let's talk about the news. So you didn't go down just to roll with
Yeah.
Pain.
So, after we were chatting for a while,
really,
anyway.
maybe.
Well,
mostly.
yeah, mostly, but we did have to get
By
some
the way,
work
I am
done.
T-Pain not updated for the iPhone 6.
I should have grilled him on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on here? He insists that he records his vocals through I am T-Pain.
That is what he said. Yeah.
What kind of phone did he have?
He had a 6S. He had rose gold. He also had an Apple Watch. He does not love the battery life on it.
Okay, I noticed in the video, did he have what is the bedazzlement he had on his Apple Watch?
I don't want to assume, but
I think it was custom.
It was definitely I think it was probably
Okay,
circled with diamonds.
what jewelers are doing custom?
I didn't ask. He did recommend a steak place to us. He said the steak was like $20. He said they were great.
That's the best.
Yeah. But unfortunately, I forgot the name, and so we ended up eating at Cheesecake Factory.
Oh,
The least.
go to T-Pain's $20 steak place.
Nope.
God,
Yeah.
that is sad and a lost opportunity.
Yeah. Wait, I found a T-Pain soundboard. This is a terrible soundboard.
So GarageBand.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the reason that we were actually down there is because there's an update to GarageBand on the iPad. And there's basically a brand new interface. It looks sort of like a MIDI controller where there's just like a grid of squares. Each square is assigned to a loop. So you just tap around different squares, loops fire, and it sounds good together. And yeah, so it's basically Apple wants this to be this like super, super easy way to start creating music. And like it really is, because you can know absolutely nothing and you'll be able to put together something that sounds pretty good.
I mean, I know absolutely nothing. Nicola, how much
Yeah,
do you know?
Oh, nothing.
Well, you should try it.
Okay.
Yeah, Nicola's got an iPad Pro over there.
Yeah.
All right. I'll close this guy.
Yeah. Close your computer from the past. Pick up the computer of the future.
The computer of the future, this big iPad. Okay, so I'm looking at it. First, I picked hip hop because obviously.
Yeah.
And it's like a black grid with yellow, blue, and green things that I can press. And they look like different kinds of tie-dye, basically.
Wait.
Like-
Show me what you're looking at. Okay.
Yeah.
Like they look like little different tie-dyes.
Can I describe what you're looking at to
Yeah,
you?
you can explain.
So
A really
to me.
incredibly
Well, not
bad
me.
Windows 10 start menu.
Yeah, basically. Metro has finally found a home. So if you are at all familiar with GarageBand, they've changed very little to the underneath of GarageBand. So GarageBand has always had tons and tons and tons of samples in it that are intelligent samples. They've just been hard to use. Like you have to drag the samples into the grid and you start and stop by dragging.
Well, it's always like
the ends
you're
of
you're looking at the waveforms, and that's like I don't know what that means.
So now they've basically made it a sampler, right? And
Yes.
the sampler has tons of presets. So what Nicola's looking at is basically the sample, like the sampler board. And so if you press one, it'll start, right?
Should we start?
Do it, man.
Okay.
Make that.
I'm going to press a green one.
they're all gonna sync up together. So you don't have to you literally cannot screw up. This is like so
Okay, I'm
on
gonna press
training
another
wheels.
one.
Yeah. And this is the future of music. Get it. That's some very Operation Figurehead jam right here. It's Nicola walking down the street, just snapping to herself.
Oh,
That's bad.
That's good.
That's awful. That's not good at all. Oh yeah, there you go. Now start rapping.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's good.
that's good.
Get it. She's so happy. If you were here with us,
Watch the YouTube. Watch the
the
YouTube.
joy on Nicola's face is like out of control. She's very happy. She actually was practicing with it earlier, and I made her stop so that we could recapture this innocent joy of making a looped hip hop beat.
No, but that's the thing. Like, you know how to create music.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I can't make a single sound that goes with another sound. And so, like, the fact that I can hit like 3 buttons and
Yeah.
like I feel like I'm doing something,
Whoa.
very fun.
I just highlighted like a whole row.
You just turn everything on.
Yeah.
I mean, so here's my question about
Man,
this.
I'm going to use this.
It's
like,
fun.
I'm
Yeah.
bad at music, but
We have a blizzard this weekend. I'm going to play with this.
I'm going to make like some writing music.
Yeah.
Some like
Some
chill,
chill down tempo. Oh, so what you
down-tempo.
need for that is the other app, Music Memos,
No.
where you just like strum some chords into
Yeah,
the phone.
that's the problem with
and then
music
like
memos.
adds.
You have to strum chords.
So let's talk about that
Can't
other
do.
app real quick.
Yeah, so
too.
music memos, I think it's for a different audience. Like, that is, I think, mostly for total beginners. Music memos is you're like a singer-songwriter and you have an idea.
Yeah.
The Music Memos PR. They
it say
got
Jewel?
Ryan Adams is in it.
Oh, boy.
And he was like, I gotta find it. It's so good. And like you just think of the Apple PR person, and be like, we need the perfect singer songwriter for this quote.
But like you strum your chords, it records
Yeah,
them.
I guess I should say. So
And
music
then-
memos, it's like voice memos,
Yep.
but it's like beefed up with music features. So there's just a record button, and you're supposed to use it to record yourself playing music. But it's not necessarily for like finished final products. It's
But
more
it'll
like I have an idea.
It'll identify the chords
Yeah,
for you.
so that's
and
what's
it'll,
cool. It'll break down
show
the
you the
chords,
measures.
the beat structure. You can add notes like if you're using like a capo or if you have an irregular tuning. And the really neat thing is there's also buttons where you can like automatically have it add in drums and bass on top of that. So you can like sort of hear what it would sound like as a final song.
Yeah. They got Ryan Adams there. Sometimes ideas, right? There's some Ryan Adams. And I would point out, one of the most insanely prolific songwriters ever.
Wait.
Sometimes ideas come faster than I can get them in my notebook, so I used voice memos and notes to quickly capture songs before they're lost. Music memos, says Ryan Adams, is like if those two apps came together to form some kind of superpower for songs. Said Ryan Adams, critically acclaimed singer, songwriter, and producer. It quite literally blew my mind how music memos could transform a single guitar idea into a whole composition with a virtual drummer loose enough that felt you having your mind read by some AI musician. Ryan Adams, who I'm Ryan Adams fan. Really like him. Ryan Adams does not need any help producing more and more music over time.
Man.
It's crazy. I don't know, man. Right. Well, it's funny that they were like, who's the ultimate singer-songwriter?
I like legitimately
They went to the
believe
Heartbreaker
this use
himself.
case though. Like
Yeah.
as soon as Apple got done telling me about the existence of this app, I went back and Stereo Gum had a post about one of the members of Vampire Weekend had like a new song out, and like there's a quote from him. And he's like, "Yeah, I just found some old thing in voice memos where and it's like this is like actually what musicians are doing to record their ideas." And so like, I don't think it's a super original idea, but it definitely seems like a really cool setup.
Well, what I think GarageBand is free with the iPad, right?
Yeah, I mean both of these apps are free,
Right.
And apparently, I didn't realize this. GarageBand is even preloaded on them if you have more than 16 gigabytes of storage.
Really?
So like,
Yeah.
Wait, so if you have more than 16 gigs of storage on an iPad, they preload it with loops from GarageBand?
I think so. Yeah.
It's kind of dope. I mean, it's
so, like-
awful in one way because it's like,
No, but like I think probably like a lot of kids are going to be picking this up and just be able to make
Like
some
Nicola
songs.
What? Picking up.
I
our
mean,
generation's
this-
next beat maker.
Yes.
Have you guys read The Song Machine? I'm like addicted to this book. Who's the guy?
Oh, yeah. I need to get this book.
Everybody should read The Song Machine.
Is
I'm
that the
I'm
one
buying
that's
the Song Machine on
about
Kindle right
the
now.
It's
like?
John Seabrook. Yeah, so it's about how pop songs are made now.
Yeah.
And so it's excellent. It's
$7.16.
It's excellent. It's worth every penny. I read it. It was like I read it at CES, which was silly. It was
How
like,
did you find time?
Well, it was like, because you come home at the end of the day at CES, it's like been
And then
20
you,
hours.
You
know.
literally fall on the floor. You can't even reach your bed. You're too fucking tired.
Are you ever too tired to fall asleep? This is like my thing. I'm always
Yeah,
too
I'm
tired to
always
fall
too tired
asleep.
to fall
So I was like
asleep. Yeah, all right.
wired at the end of every night. Like, I'm going to bed. And I would sit there and like this would be the thing I page through. But I liked it so much during that time that I read it again when I came home.
I love Nilay literally can't talk about reading without holding his left hand out flat in front of him and then swiping invisible pages. I've seen him talk about books probably 100 times in the past 5 years, and every time he does it, he's like,
What are the things that you mime? There are
When
three
he-
things that I consistently mime.
you mime iPads too. You just instead of like going left right, you go up down.
I got an iPad. I didn't know that's a new one. So I mime, apparently consistently mime four
That's
things.
Instagram. That's what this is.
That's a gram.
Yeah.
You mime a gram.
No,
Yeah.
but Graham is one hand and thumb.
Well, okay.
Okay.
So apparently I mime books.
Yes.
I didn't know I mimed iPads.
You do mime iPads.
I mime getting a check. Whenever I ask for a check, I always do that. Whenever I ask for Diet Coke, I go like that.
yeah. Why do you do that?
And at the end of the meal, my wife thinks this is the funniest.
by the way, that is like holding up an invisible cup and shaking it.
Can I get a Diet Coke?
Yeah.
And at the end of the meal, I didn't know I would do this. I often enjoy a glass of port at the end of a fine meal, and I put up a little cup and I shake the little cup.
I love that. I really love that.
I'm like a little, and Becky's always like, "You want a little?" It's awful. Anyhow, so this book, Inside the Song Machine. I think Emily talked to John Seabrook, the author, on her podcast. I think she did something else with him. It's a fantastic book, but the reason I bring it up, it basically tracks how pop songs are written over time, right? So it used to be like the Brill Building and like collections of songwriters, then Motown, and now it's a system called Track and Hook, where producers just sit around making beats, making tracks, and they just send them out to what's called top liners, and the top liners just sing nonsense over these tracks, and they send them back to the producers, and the producers decide which nonsense singing they like the best.
Wait, so the producers actually get to choose who gets their song?
No, they don't sing.
no,
The
it hasn't gotten
top
to the
liners
artist
are
yet.
like melody people,
Oh.
so they just sing hooks.
They just sing like
So the
watermelon,
producers,
watermelon.
like-
do they actually sing lyrics or do they just sing like random words?
So there's like a big argument.
Lorem ipsum,
They
dolor
just- they
sicamet.
sing Latin typesetting phrases.
Come on.
You need to sample that.
That was a funny joke.
It was good.
That
The
was a
singing
funny
was
joke.
bad.
It was saying, I mean, they
In a
combined
painful
to
way.
something. It was like beautifully painful though.
By the way, someone please make a Lorem ipsum hit
Yeah.
pop song
Well,
for me.
start
On Garage?
start a beat and I'll auto tune some Lorem Ipsum for
All
you.
right.
No, actually, somebody should do that. Anyway, so no, they sent it to top. So like, there, if you go on YouTube, you can search for Esther Dean, and she just wrote all of Rihanna's songs. She just like walked into a booth and like recorded some demos over the existing beats, and then they decided that Rihanna would sing them. And like that to me is like like just listening to how all these songs are made in that fashion is like crazy. Like the producers were, but she was in Barbados. They were in Barbados. They like met her. They're like, "Come to New York. We're making you a star." And they're like, "Here are these songs to sing. Like somebody else wrote them for you," which is crazy. But it's funny because you look at that kind of GarageBand and it's just designed to like have producers make beats. Like it's optimized to just like assemble loops into beats.
Yeah.
And so the other thing that got me is Umbrella. That cymbal sound at the beginning of Umbrella is a built-in Logic loop.
Really?
It's just there in Logic. Like the Dream was just like screwing around with the built-in samples in Logic, and he just made Umbrella.
I mean, that was the thing that I was asking T-Pain about. Like, are you really going to use a built-in GarageBand loop? Like, you can bring in your own loops, and you can make your own loops. But like, he says like, obviously he's working with Apple to like talk about GarageBand, but like,
yes,
so
very
take
clearly.
take this with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But like, he's like, I mean, yeah, you can still just mess around with the actual sound of a loop enough that like nobody's really going to get the same exact sound as you. So like, what does it matter?
No, but it's funny because the Umbrella sample is like straight up raw.
That's
like
wild.
It's in GarageBand too. Like it's just one of Apple's various royalty-free samples is like the Dream was like, this is my song. That's ridiculous.
We all have the same tools, but we can't all arrive on the same conclusions that the Dream can arrive on.
It's true. All of us type on the
That's
same
what
keyboards.
talent is.
Apple
What you're
ships the
saying
same
is we
keyboards
all
ever.
Actually, my
failed
keyboard's
to become
different.
Rihanna.
If you don't come back from this weekend with Umbrella, you're done for, Fumo.
I'm going to see the Dream next month.
I love the Dream. Like, he's actually one of my favorite artists.
Yeah, he's playing on Valentine's Day.
That is like actually perfect for the Dream.
It's so perfect.
That makes a lot of sense for the
Anyway, going on. I'm just really excited.
What's your favorite Dream song? Now I'm gonna have to look at it. All right. Well, that's
Come back to me. I have to think about it.
also one of my favorite Dream songs. All right.
Probably Equestrian.
Ooh. Oh man.
The Dream understands the female gaze in a way that this is a whole other tangent. We can't talk about this really, but the Dream understands the female gaze in the way that no one else on the planet does.
I'm with you on that. I'm looking for my favorite Dream song. Oh, it's "I Love You, Girl." Duh. What am I?
Oh yeah, that's on my daily playlist. You what's up, girl? Okay, go on. Anyway.
And Shorty's shit's good too. But anyway, today's episode of the Vergecast is brought to you by the Dream. Oh, and Backblaze as well. Also Backblaze. Backblaze is a personal and business backup for Macs and PCs with unlimited backup for documents, music, photos, videos, and all your user data, including Fumo's GB Jams. That's her folder name on Backblaze. I don't know. Anyway, look, there's no throttling. There's or upload threading, which means you can back up quickly and efficiently. Backblaze has backed up well over 200 petabytes of data, and over petabytes. 200 petabytes of data. Over 10 billion files have been restored. There's iPhone apps, there's Android apps. You can access all your all those small files on the go with your phone, anywhere that you basically have an internet connection. This is like obvious stuff. Like Backblaze has the cloud, guys. So put your files in the cloud. You can use your phone. Anyway, whatever. You can restore one file at a time or all your files with Easy Web Restore, or you can just order a USB hard drive and get all your stuff all at once. There's also native backup apps for Mac and PC. More important to me now than ever before. No native app, I'm out of here.
No, there are backup apps that like run like Java. There's like really crappy backup apps.
Yeah, but Backblaze is good.
Backblaze is native.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you're already using Time Machine or external drive, great. Just get Backblaze as your offsite backup. Double it up. And if you're already backing up or you're a developer or you're a sysadmin, whatever, check out Backblaze's new thing, Backblaze B2 Object Cloud Storage. Don't know what that means? You're in good company, because I don't either. But no worries. Just check it out. Backblaze Personal Backup has no add-ons, gimmicks, or additional charges. Just $5 a month per computer for unlimited, unthrottled online backup. Listeners of the Vergecast,
This show.
It's you. We are the creators of the Vergecast, but you, my friends, are the listeners. Think about that. You can get a free 2-week trial. Go to backblaze.com. Guess what it is? /Vergecast. There it is. Okay. Backblaze.com/Vergecast. 2-week free trial of, some primo backup shit.
Yeah.
Backblaze.com, everybody.
There you
Hit
go.
it.
Hit it.
I'm trying to spice them up. It's been a while since
No,
I
that's
did
a
an ad
good
read.
slogan.
Hit it. Hit it.
Better than
Backblaze, motherfuckers!
yeah.
It's not actually their slogan, so I hope they like it. All right, we got a bunch of stuff here in round two.
Hermes.
Yeah, so
Hermes?
Nicola opened the week with me by pointing out that we were slow to some Apple news.
Yeah, we
What
were
a
actually.
beautiful way to start the week.
Nicola, she literally sent me a note and just said, slip in.
No, apple slipping.
Oh, I thought you meant that we were slow.
Oh, maybe I don't know. No. It was not to you.
Nicola has also been forwarding me random things with just like garbage things with just the word Renaissance
They're all
above them.
related to the analog renaissance. It's all young people using record players and such.
No, it's if you read it the other way, which is the way I read it, which is we're in a time of extreme cultural decline, and you're using the word Renaissance to note that, it also makes sense because it's like sweaters listening to sweater music, like
Renaissance
random
is the
brands
opposite
activating
of cultural decline.
Right. It's a joke.
Okay.
Irony is that
I
it would not be a Renaissance. Is that
Like
Don't-
that stagnant.
coffee brand
Stagnant.
activations where they're handing you film cameras to take pictures of coffee beans while you like grow a beard
Right.
is not
That
a
sounds
Renaissance
great.
moment.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. Anyhow, so you want to, Nicola? I don't know how to say this out loud. The Hermes Apple Watch collection is now online,
Yes.
and you and I had a fairly interesting conversation where we talked about
We did.
Apple as a luxury retailer, and like why did you think it was important that it was available online?
Okay, so the thing is that they did this like $1,500 double leather strap
Yeah.
that you could only buy in stores, including some Apple stores, Hermes stores, I think like a couple super high-end fashion retailers. So the fact that they put it online, luxury brands, fashion luxury brands are really slow to sell its stuff online. Like
Yeah.
you cannot buy a fucking Birkin bag online. No,
Yeah.
absolutely not. Join the waiting list like everyone else. Like you can't. So the fact that they're selling it online, like to me that says like, well, good, didn't go that well in the stores. I guess we should make this available on the internet. And it's also weird for Hermes because it's like you guys don't sell stuff online. Why are you doing this? And what we were talking about is just like the idea of having a $1,500. I mean, it's pieces of leather.
Yeah.
Right.
It's $1,500 pieces of leather, about like a couple Band-Aids worth,
Yeah.
in the same room as like cords, like cords that plug things in that are utilitarian. And how, yeah, it is weird. It's hard to create a store atmosphere where you feel okay buying like a $9 thing and also a $1,500
Right.
thing.
Or like buying $15 iTunes gift card. Well, the one I gave you was like USB cables.
Yes.
Right, like
Right.
in Apple stores are deeply nerdy utilitarian things.
Yeah.
And I think reason people like them is like they often offer you a piece of the future, right? Mm-hmm. But then you can like pick up some stuff. And like people buy lots of cases there and they buy lots of cables there. And like it's great that it's open. And you're like, I need a DVI adapter. I'll go to the Apple store. But it's really weird to think of it as like, I'm going there to buy a super fancy watch.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they hired Angela Ahrendts, right? Like, I mean, she was Burberry, right? Like, you've been to a Burberry store. What was the Burberry store like?
I mean, a lot of these stores, you enter them as environments. You don't really enter them as there's kind of two ways to be in a luxury fashion store.
Okay.
You have the area where it is a person coming in to buy a handbag or perfume or jewelry or whatever it is that is like the thing that floats the business. Clothing does not float the business for high-end fashion brands, like
Right.
for no one. If you are that customer, you probably work with a sales associate because they know you and you are a client. You are not a customer. You are someone that might even get invited to the fashion shows because that's how much money you spend with this company. They only have one, maybe two sizes of everything out. So it's not the kind of store where you can't walk in and be like, oh, I'm just going to flip through the rack, grab a handful of Burberry clothes and just try them on. It's like, no, you need a human being. It's going to be like, as soon as you start looking at clothes, there's going to be a human being next to you.
Oh,
Like,
I've never understood
I
this,
help
by
you?
the way. This is fascinating.
Yeah,
I've
so-
never understood the stores that have like 4 things on
yeah.
hangers.
I mean, because they don't want you to go in and try on their $3,200 dress. They don't want you to. They don't want you to. That's
I mean, they don't. I mean,
don't.
just to
They
be
really
To be
don't.
perfectly blunt, they do not want
they
me to
do
try on their
not want
$3,200
you
dress.
there trying on the runway shearling motorcycle jacket.
Right.
You know. So, but they do want you there buying the $995 trench coat.
Right.
Because that's a lot of money. But there's a lot of people with a lot of money,
Right.
and they buy these things.
So, like, could you put the Apple Watch in that store?
Yeah.
Because that's the
so-
flip side of it, right? Like, would you buy a tech gadget in that store? Like, I think this is really fascinating. Like,
You'd buy the gold packs.
but that's
Yes.
not like it's not a computer. Like the gold packs is like not a computer. Like the whole point of
It's a computer.
it's a weed computer.
It's a
I
weed
understand. I understand what kind of computer it is. But it's literally a computer.
Herbal matter.
Herbal matter. Anyway, but like an Apple Watch is a different kind of computing commitment.
Right.
Like you can buy a PAX on a whim and then never use it again.
That's, I think, how most people bought the Apple Watch.
Rough burn. Anyway, keep going.
Okay, so you have that area where it's like that's usually like it might be like in the back or it's like on a second level or a lower level, and that's like you're a real person with real fucking money and you're going to spend a lot of it, and they care a lot about that and you. Then there's the area where it's like the stuff that floats the bottom line. So those are like handbags usually for most brands. So to me, this Apple Watch for Hermes is kind of like falls into that latter category where it's like here's a high like profit margin item.
It's an impulse purchase. It's a thing like next to the cash register.
It's a $1,500 way to enter into a brand identity that you can also enter into at $4,000. Not that you can't spend $4,000 at Apple on something,
Right.
but yeah, it's a tiptoe into a world that you might want to be a part of. But it's a $1,500 tiptoe, which is crazy.
Right. I mean, I just think it's like Walt and his whole podcast yesterday was just we had just talked about the watch, and he's like, I don't really use mine. Like, he's like, there's two things I do with it. I check the notifications, and like, it counts my steps, and I like it when the rings close.
When I saw that piece that he wrote, I was like, yay! I independently arrived on the same conclusions as this expert man. Like, very, very pleased.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it at length, and I think that this fashion piece of the Apple Watch, the comparison that is in my mind constantly is the iPod, which actually reached like an enormous amount of cultural capital and was like so cool. And it's funny because we make this Karl Lagerfeld joke about the Apple Watch constantly, but like Lagerfeld was so obsessed with the iPod that he had 14 of them custom laser engraved with his like personal music tastes with like a special coding system. This is crazy.
That's incredible.
Crazy. And it's funny because that product, like, everybody used it. It had only the one function, but it became cool because it was just cool. Like, there wasn't this, like, fashion world around it. The fashion world just, like, took the iPod, and Apple had nothing to do with it. And now
because it was a useful new thing.
What I just think it's, I think and obviously the iPod never sold as much as any of these products will sell because Apple is a much smaller company there. But it's just funny to think about technology becoming cool. The iPod was I think legitimately the first piece of technology that became cool all by itself. Name another one.
Walkman.
No, I just totally disagree.
Cool by itself?
It wasn't cool. Like everybody had one. It was like an 80s status symbol. But like the thing of the Walkman, like close your mind. What did the Walkman when it was cool look like?
It was that yellow sport one. That was the cool one.
No, it's like everybody had a little portable tape deck, but
Yeah.
no, there wasn't a Walkman that was cool.
Boom boxes?
Like the whole, like we're asking the president what's on his boombox. Do you see what I mean? Like the iPod achieved this level of like cultural significance that I think is like fascinating, and I think the goal is for the watch to achieve that level of
If
cultural
you think something was genuinely, sincerely cool before the iPod, some piece of technology that like achieved real cool.
yeah, you can tweet at me right now.
Reckless.
Let me know. I've been dying to
now.
know, but I was thinking about it all weekend basically. And it just seems like Apple's trying to skip that line and get to cool before accomplishing the thing that the iPod did, which was it was literally like a game-changing music device.
Well, the iPod was
Someone's gonna yell at me
Cool
that the
because-
Zune was out.
I mean, it was like defining your personality, right? Which is so interesting because that's what they want the watch to do. They want it to be an extension of who you are, right? You can customize the band, you can customize the look, but like you can't really change that much. There are all these superficial things, and they're just like, look, we partner with a high fashion brand, and I mean, Nicola knows better how that works, but like, I don't know, is that really that exciting for people? Like, it's still it doesn't do that much. And I say that as a person who's wearing one right now. Like,
What do you use yours for?
I was trying to
That's a
figure
really
that
nice
out.
band. What kind of band is that? Is that
This
Apple's?
is no, it is not Apple's. It is from Monoware. It's their leather band. It's like it is. I mean, it's good. I like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been trying to figure out what I use it for because I'm using an Android phone right now. So that's
hang
a
on,
whole other subject.
You're using an Apple Watch?
Well, okay. I do have, and I have my iPhone 5S up in my bag upstairs.
Yeah.
I'm actually still getting notifications
Right,
down
because it's
here.
on the Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah, maybe it is.
No, it could be the
Wi-Fi.
Bluetooth. So, like my Bluetooth keyboard upstairs works. If someone were to go to my desk and start typing, my computer would flip out.
Someone upstairs.
No,
Get to
Done.
work.
Done.
It's happening.
But like that's the thing. I mean, it's good for notifications, but I just realized that like I've been checking weather on my phone more than I have been on my watch now because I have it right on the Android home screen.
Also, it takes 5 minutes for the watch to show you the weather.
Well, I've got like a weather widget. Like I do. I mean, yeah, that's it. I use it for the time and for the weather, and like notifications come in on this faster than they come in on Android for whatever reason. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
No,
But-
it's time, date, notifications, weather, steps.
Yep.
That's the stuff that smartwatches are good at, and it's terrible at everything else.
Look, I'm buying a $1,500 Hermes Apple Watch.
not.
I already have two.
Okay.
And an Apple review unit. So
Coolest styling of the Apple Watch I've seen so far
T-Pain.
is in the Young Thug best friends video.
yeah.
He's wearing two of them stacked, which is only seconded by seeing T-Pain having his own custom bedazzled version. And this is someone who was last week was like, don't put jewels on smartwatches for women. It's so offensive. And now I'm like, I love T-Pain's though. Like, yeah. So that I would say buy two of them.
Yeah.
Sport band is the best part about it.
No.
Like one is orange and one's green or something.
Yeah.
And he just
It's
is
like
wearing
key
two of
effect.
them.
No, it's definitely the key effect. You know, I said this on this show before,
What
probably
is
1,000
this?
times. Things in IKEA look good because you walk in and you see 100 of them at once in every possible color. It's like you're like, yes, I will buy this coffee table is great.
Oh, yeah,
because there's
repetition.
like there's like 90 of them in every color of the rainbow, like
Yeah.
stretching the sky. And then you come home, and you've got like one sad blue coffee
Yeah.
table, and you're like, oh, this wasn't cool because I don't have 10 of them.
Bed Bath & Beyond does that too, where they stack merchandise repeating all the way to the ceiling.
Yeah, but that's like.
I mean, it's different. It's different merchandise.
The
but-
triple B is like not as cool as like, you know, like IKEA's like, I went for it. I don't know what do you want from me? Try to liven it up.
I want you to not call it
Who doesn't call it the triple B?
Triple B only refers to the Better Business Bureau, okay?
I'm just saying. No, but I think in a Bed Bath and Beyond, also colloquially known as the triple B,
what about the Trip B?
Trip B, yeah,
Trip B.
Try B,
Try B.
B3.
B3.
B cubed? No, B3. I took it too far.
You know that there's a shittier version of Bed Bath and Beyond in a prototype store somewhere called B3. Like there has to be. It's like the crappier one with like a lower quality.
Wait,
stuff.
No,
what's
it's like
what's
a
the
city-
crate and
it's
barrel?
like-
What's the crate and barrel like?
CB2.
CB2. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
and that's so the day CB2 launched, the people at Bed Bath and Beyond were like, "Oh, Larry, come in here."
B2. It's like it's like centered for what
Yeah, and they're all writing on the whiteboard, and he's like, "I got it." There's that B3.
The person
He's
in
like
charge of
circling it.
strategy at Bed Bath & Beyond is definitely named Larry.
totally Larry.
Larry, get in here. Larry, you see what these Crate and Barrel fuckers are doing? I don't know. They're not even competitors. They're just constantly
No.
worried about. They're just like, oh man, we sell storage bins too. Damn it. Anyway,
Container store in the mix. I mean, okay. Anyway, back to
even remember.
the IKEA effect, which then if we step one more back, where were we?
we're at the watch.
The watch.
Oh, the new version of the watch software lets you. It's going to support 2 watches at once, multiple watches.
Yep.
It's going to be a thing.
Wait.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
So
Why not?
presumably because they're going to put out a new watch next year, and then you can buy 2 of them and they'll both work, or you could buy a sport one and a fashion one, so you can have you'll be able to have more than one watch.
Oh.
So you could buy that Hermes one, but then you would wear like your sport one to the gym. And it would all be.
But you're just changing the band. Ideally.
No, I think that
There's like a finish. Like
Yeah.
you've got the
So you
black
could
with
have
your
like
sport.
you could have that one, and then you could have the rose gold for like other occasions.
Yeah.
right.
And you're still just tracking your steps and you're doing your thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to unlock it for them, but it's something they needed to solve.
Yeah.
Right,
For
like-
some people.
I don't know if that was the highest priority thing.
Maybe that
they
means
needed
they'll
to
make
Well,
solve.
they put out a
circle.
second one. They got to get everybody to buy a second one.
That is true.
That's true.
I mean,
I should sell my
guess there's-
first one now before they put out the second
Is it
one.
clear, by the way, that I'm completely
gotta-
fascinated by the Apple Watch? Like,
Yeah,
we talk
why?
about it on the show a lot, and I just think it's the thing that Apple made. It's the first thing they made completely without Jobs. It's the first expression of a strategy to be a more fashionable, high-end, premium company. It is. I mean, I was saying this to Walt on his show yesterday. They announced it by saying that the digital crown would be as important as the mouse, multi-touch, and the click wheel, which is a high bar.
It's the first. It's the first.
a pretty high
insane
bar.
It's the
Right,
first
and, like-
platform that they had launched in a while that wasn't good.
Right, and it's just like it's it's such a bet. Like they have to get it right, right? And they can't cut bait on it for a long time, right? They just can't. And like I'm a huge nerd, and I think the idea of like a gadget watch is like a great idea. And so like everything about it just like draws my attention to it. Like far away, like the TV is like, if you've been listening to the show, I've talked about TV on every episode of the show for like 1,000 years, right? Like we can talk about Apple TV all day, but like they're just gonna get it. It's just gonna sort itself out. They have the best TV platform of anybody. They just need to cut deals, right? But
Right.
Like,
Is that what they need though? Because I feel like other people are doing the exact same thing, and other people do have deals. Like, what are they going to do? That's
nobody has a streaming TV deal, and nobody else.
That's not true. Sling does.
But
I mean, okay,
Like-
fine, but
like
right, but
Sling
like,
doesn't have a
is it really?
box.
Is it really
Sony
that
does.
exciting
Does
to
Sling
use
have
a
a box?
Roku?
Sony has a box and a deal.
the PlayStation TV thing?
Yeah.
Right, like why is Apple's
But
going to be any
that's like,
different?
but that's
other than the
it's
fact
not. It's
that
individual.
No, but like they've got the PS4 and they've got View.
right.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Their box is more expensive, but you know,
The View. How much is the View?
the PlayStation View service.
Right. It's in
like-
the PS4.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
So, but that's not quite. Like, that's not quite right. They have the deal because they have a limited market share. The same way Apple got the music deal for iTunes because they had limited market share and they put it on the Mac first.
Right.
Sling is on
Xbox and
right. It's like
things.
it's on these little piddly devices, limited market share.
Yeah.
Apple has the mass market opportunity. Their platform is the best one. Like it's actually a computer, unlike the Roku. Like you can see the Roku like rebooting into whatever
I have
crappy mode it's
a
gonna reboot
lot
into.
of hopes with Apple TV, but it is like basically the same thing as the Roku.
No,
Also-
no. The user experience, like the thing that happens at the end, they're all the same. Right?
My
You
Apple
push a button
TV
and
is
it, like, plays
buggy as
video
hell,
at you.
by the way. The
No.
apps are way worse than they were on the last version of the Apple TV. The new Netflix app on the new Apple TV is a garbage fire.
Disagree.
Totally wrong.
I am.
Like,
I think the remote.
I had to unplug the thing and plug it back in because it wouldn't pause.
I guess what I'm saying is
Also, the remote's garbage.
the remote,
I hate the Apple TV.
Everybody kind of hates the remote.
But it's what we use. I have a Roku, I have a Fire Stick, I have Chromecast, and we still use the Apple TV, even though I'm like frustrated with it.
I love the new Chromecast.
It's great.
Like it's really anyway. My point is that they will just do the Apple thing and slowly iterate on the Apple TV, and it will get better because it's obvious what it should do, and it's obvious what they need it to do. Like it's blindingly obvious what they need the Apple TV to do. It needs to let you watch live.
Yeah,
television.
there's no confusion about that path.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, great, we can complain about it. We can say you like it and I don't like it. Whatever. It's just the watch is like,
Well, what's
it
really
needs a path.
And the thing is that I find super interesting is like Apple has these crazy ideas that it's going to be this communication device, right? There are two buttons on this thing. One of them is dedicated to a messaging feature that 0 people use.
0 people.
And one of the reports right now is that like the next one's going to have a camera on it, which I assume will be for like sending little videos to other people.
Or FaceTime.
In what circumstance would I FaceTime?
That's
on
the
a
most
watch?
Dick Tracy shit though, right?
I
That's
mean,
like, if you could do
that's
it one
something that
time,
if
it-
Samsung did, we would like laugh at them. I think they might have done it. I don't know.
Almost certainly. Samsung
right,
was
like-
like, this watch is great for creep shots. And it was like, yeah.
Like,
That was the first gear. Remember it had a
right.
camera in the band?
It had, yeah, it was on the band, right,
Yeah.
and for spy shots or something. Like, I don't know. But like, that is this crazy vision to me. I feel like that's not what the watch is like obviously for. I mean, it's really interesting that they have these like broader ideas and they're trying to do something that most people aren't with smartwatches. But like, it would be cool if they nailed like one thing first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the big question. It's like, are perfect notifications going to sell more watches than like adding another feature that someone might want to FaceTime from? It's like, I don't know. I mean, honestly don't like. This comes back to the point. Like, we as a group have seen a lot of things, and the path for many products is like usually clear, but like, smartwatches as a whole, path not clear,
Yeah.
right? Like it's like here's what they should do, and they can get better at this, but that's not going to like open the billion unit market. I don't know. Anyway, we need a lightning round. You ready? By the way, if you know what the Apple Watch should do, tweet at us. I'll tell you.
Has anybody tweeted
Yeah,
at
did you
you
get any?
a cool object? Cool technology.
Let me look.
I copied you on the photos of Young Thug.
Somebody pointed out that I've now explained the IKEA effect in the Vergecast for like 100 times. Thus,
Yeah.
My
IKEA-
first time here.
just
dang it.
Well,
effectively
actually,
IKEA affecting the IKEA effect.
Yeah, there you go. Damn it.
Yeah, no one's tweeting anything. There's nothing. I'm telling you, the iPod was the first mass market cool piece of technology. Other than
do
like
not believe
the
you.
color TV or something. You know, it's like But that doesn't count.
There's got to be a
record
picture of like
players?
James Dean doing something cool with some gadget somewhere.
Yeah, it was called a cigarette. It was a startling innovation. He rolled it up into his T-shirt sleeve, and everyone was like, "That man is a master of cool." Pack cigarettes?
Yeah, a
T-shirt
pack,
sleeve?
not a single cigarette. I was envisioning him rolling a single cigarette.
You know,
up
he
his
tried that one
sleeve.
time, right? He's
Yeah.
like, I don't know, this one's not working. All right. Two important ones. Lightning round we can open up with some
right.
deep issues. Netflix keeps defending Binge On, which is crazy to me.
It's insane.
Binge On is T-Mobile's data throttling service, and Netflix was one of the biggest proponents of net neutrality. And then Verizon launched sponsored data, which lets companies buy data so it doesn't hit your data plan. So TC and Russell are upstairs, and they're like, we need a new name for this. Like, we won net neutrality, but now there's like a new kind of fuckery afoot where everyone's dodging around it by making anti-net neutrality things free. And I don't know what we would call it, but it's very strange. Like, Binge On is like, you can make an argument for Binge On. It's free. So like, if you are a T-Mobile customer and you want to watch videos, they made them free.
So like devious about like sponsored data in the first place. Like, if you're telling me I can stream Spotify for free, like that is awesome.
So-
like, of course I want that.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this. Like, yeah, that sounds fine. Here's the thing that I would rather they do. Just up my data cap. Like, the idea that T-Mobile is going to stream all this massive amount of video and this massive amount of music for free and like just give away all of this data, maybe just up your. They're like, just
No,
why
so
don't they
they're
just go back to
not. So
unlimited?
they're
But they're throttling it.
the video, they're not streaming. They're cutting it because they're throttling it.
Right.
So any video.
So
and
they're
this-
actually saving data on the video.
right. And I
in
think
some
this is
ways.
the real issue TC was pointing out to me. It's beyond just knowing, like working with Netflix to cut down on their data rate.
Yeah.
Because that's like one thing. Right, Netflix and T-Mobile have made a deal. If you're a Netflix customer, you're a T-Mobile customer, you can flip this switch. Netflix will intelligently cut your video quality. You won't hit your cap. Like, okay, I'm the most rabid net neutrality proponent out there, but fine, right? Like, fine. If you can opt into that as a customer of both companies, you are expressing a market preference. That is cool.
Right.
You want higher quality video, put the switch, whatever, fine. I'm not like in love with it, but fine. But they're also doing like deep packet inspection.
Right.
So that if you are downloading videos, they will identify your video packets and throttle just those across the board. That shit's dirty.
Yep.
And like that, like,
Well, the other thing that's dirty to me is like when I buy internet service from somebody, I buy a certain speed and I'm like, if I want more, I'll pay for more. And the idea that the quality of my service is being affected by backroom deals,
right.
even though they're like telling me about them after they happen, even though like it's not costing me more money, like it is like this weird corruption of net neutrality that isn't quite a corruption of net neutrality, right? It's just like I feel the same way about it that I feel
need a
about
new
like
name.
searching inside apps from like Google. Like Google and Siri can search inside an app now, right? Like I can search for a restaurant information and I can dig right into the OpenTable app. That's great. But you know how that works? A deal, a backroom deal between OpenTable and Google and Apple. Not just like, here's how to read our app. Anybody can do it. And now that's happening with like access to everything on the internet. So yeah, we need a new name. Net fuckery.
Net fuckery. Russell, I
I don't
hope
think
you're
that's going to
listening.
take off.
Nah.
Well-
paid neutrality. That's awful.
Paid neutral. No.
That's awful. People are tweeting. And bring them in. Bring them in. Anyway, Uber takes on Seamless. Uber's now delivering food in 10 U.S. cities.
Yeah.
React.
They've been doing that for
I
a
don't-
while.
Yeah.
Team
But
Racked regularly does the Uber
really?
Eats.
Yeah. What's Uber Eats like?
Like every day there's one or two different food things to choose from, and they're like pretty like $10 or so for lunch.
But why would you
And-
do that over Seamless?
Well, because they'll do restaurants, so they'll do chefs that are like cool, you know?
So you know
And-
Uber Rush?
Yes.
So why can't I use Uber Rush myself? I wanted to Uber Rush my glasses back from my apartment down to me here.
What
They-
you
you
can't
can-
schedule a pickup?
You can only Uber Rush from businesses, I thought. Anyway.
Well, this edition of the lightning round has come to a close. Minecraft Education Edition is announced.
I'm like a little pumped about this. It's like for $5 per student, schools can like put Minecraft, like give Minecraft to all their students. They can use it at school. They can use it at home. They're building Microsoft's building a website where teachers can go to share like Minecraft worlds and lesson plans. Like, I think this could actually be really cool. There's a lot of work to do. They haven't actually done that much.
What do you learn on it?
You got to play Minecraft.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You don't necessarily learn on it. You're literally just playing Minecraft, but like,
But there's like
you're inside a human eyeball. Instead
they
of
made it so you can share the Minecraft worlds with a single file, which is new. And so like someone built an eyeball and you can go wander around it. Like you can go tour the Parthenon in Minecraft.
Yeah.
We had a speed typing game that was basketball related.
Yeah.
I was number 2, and look at me now.
My niece and nephew are like addicted to Minecraft. And they're like, we play it in our computer class. And I was like, do you know, like my computer class, like I actually learned to type on gigantic green typewriters. And they were like, tell me, they like literally like looked at me, they're like, tell me about them.
We had the Macs that were the colors. They were like kind of circular in the back. They were like, I think they were like
You had
fruit
IMAX.
colors.
IMAX.
You had IMAX? You didn't have in high school or in grade school?
Grade
You're not
school.
that much younger than me. Are
Grade
you
school.
really?
1988 birth.
Oh God.
We had the ones that had the color. I think they were called. They had fruit
They were IMAX.
names or
I
something.
Yeah, tangerine,
I had-
strawberry.
Yeah.
I had Apple IIs.
I want to kill myself right now.
I
mean, it doesn't matter because my body is dying all on its own.
I played Logo.
because of old age.
Mine
It's
is
cool.
too.
But yeah, I hate you.
You're all younger than me. Shut
Sundance
up.
is starting. Lightning
Hooray,
round.
Sundance.
Netflix already bought 2 movies. Amazon bought a movie already.
Yeah, which is interesting. Jameson was saying like apparently last year they like had a little bit of trouble getting deals done to buy movies, and like the fact that they're already before the show scooping all this stuff up.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that just means that filmmakers have warmed up to them, or that they've brought more money out.
I think they have more money. I think they both want to win way more. Like there were no Oscars for them, right? Maybe there was like one editing one.
I don't even know, but
no
doesn't-
Oscar noms
doesn't
for
count.
Amazon
Yeah.
or Netflix. Like I think they want that's the next prize for
Yeah.
them.
They gotta make some friends with some old white dudes.
By the way, Netflix shutting down the VPN stuff. Brutal. Last one. It's a group participation exercise. Are you gonna watch Super Bowl? We have to. It's a cultural relevant product. You're a
Love
culture
being part
writer.
of the now.
Are you gonna watch Facebook or Twitter while you watch Super Bowl?
I don't have Facebook.
Wild new information. What?
Long standing.
When did you drop Facebook?
2010.
Oh, we're gonna talk about this in the next Vergecast. That's the sole topic next week.
No, I haven't. I only rejoined it when I was at Racked and I had to post articles, and then I went off of it again, and then I rejoined it for Tinder, and then I quit that habit, so I don't have it.
Huh. So Twitter then is your answer.
Twitter is my answer.
Wow. Oh, does Trey have a Facebook? Trey Shallowhorn?
I don't know.
You have to have it to have Tinder.
Oh.
You can't
He
have.
doesn't have a Twitter. It's really hard to tweet.
Someone made him a Twitter.
Yeah. Trey, by the way, for all of you listening, is our video producer. You wouldn't know him because he doesn't have a Twitter and thus is not a person. Dieter, Facebook or Twitter for the Super Bowl?
I mean, traditionally Twitter, but I guess I'm gonna try out this new Facebook jam. See what it's like.
I'm ready to leave Twitter. This is
Who's
what I'm
gonna
saying.
be on the
Twitter
Super Bowl?
stock is, there's 2 games left to play, so I don't know the answer, but I can hazard a guess.
Can we hazard a guess?
It's the Panthers and the Patriots. The Panthers are going to win.
Yeah,
That's my guess.
that's how it's gonna go.
Okay.
I only say this because
I went to the NFL
Cardinals can't
headquarters
win
yesterday.
because they must lose. Huh?
I went to the NFL headquarters yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
Did you meet Roger Goodell? Did he find you?
Did you see somebody that looked like? Never mind.
Why'd you go to NFL headquarters yesterday?
Because they did 50 bespoke footballs with the CFDA, Council of Fashion Designers of America. So they got fashion designers to do footballs. Matt Alfred and I went and had
Oh, I saw this on Snap.
a real blast.
Yeah.
Much more to come.
I didn't
from
realize that was at NFL headquarters.
Yes.
Very nice, man. All right, I'm dying to see that. But I'm saying I'm over Twitter. That's my thing. I think
You're over Twitter?
I think Twitter.
What about Twitter? Are you
Twitter's
over?
like stock is tanking. I just watched like
Who should buy him? Who should buy Twitter?
Oh, God.
I think it should go away.
Dude, if it's News Corp, that's then.
That would be
just-
amazing.
I just I don't
No, it would
I
be
don't
super
I don't
amazing,
see,
and they would
I'm
try
not
and
getting,
merge it with MySpace. Think about
Oh,
it.
The most value I get out of
My
Twitter
Twitter
is when
space.
we're on this show and I'm like, tweet at me if you have a thing, and people talk to me. The value I get out of the Twitter community is like basically fallen to zero.
Well, what did you used to get?
Like I got the value of the Twitter. Like there was like lots of people tweeting, and it wasn't like a competition, and it wasn't like there weren't like fucking Gamergators. You know, like it
You
wasn't.
follow too many people.
No, it's not that. It's when like following people is like whatever. Like that will I guess always be valuable. But like participating in Twitter is a thing,
Right.
and getting like feeling good about what happens once you tweet. Basically, like was really high, and then like last month I was just like, am I getting anything out of this?
I'm having so much fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm having a great time on Twitter.
yeah. Maybe I need a new account and I need to like curate
I do really want a private account.
like a shadow Twitter account.
Yeah, I want a private account for my personal life.
Shadow Reckless. That's also the name of my like Japanese all girl band. Shadow Reckless.
That's great.
Yeah,
Well, shouldn't it be Reckless Shadow?
that's good.
Yeah.
Facebook, Twitter for the Super Bowl.
I mean, I don't care about like the sports stuff, so just Twitter. I just want to see what like people I know are saying,
Yeah.
and like I don't think people actually post live updates on Facebook.
Yeah, I think if Facebook enables that, that's them saying we're done, like turning the knife on you, Jack.
Yeah.
You're done, Twitter. Anyway, that was our show.
And this podcast, I have to see what Liz Lopato has to say about the new X-Files series right now. It's on the internet.
Okay,
very
look,
exciting.
here's what you can do. You can follow The Verge on Twitter. We're at Verge.
But who's using that
You
anymore?
can like us on Facebook, which is the future. More future is on Snapchat. We're Verge on Snapchat. You can hit us up on iTunes. There's so many other podcasts now. There's What's Tech with Plant. He did What Sundance with Emily Ishida. Walt and I, we've talked about Control Alt Delete several times. It went up today. We talked about the Apple Watch. Verge ESP is back. I know they recorded today.
Weekly.
It's back. It's weekly. They recorded today. I think Emily was at Sundance when they recorded new episodes on Fridays. And then Verge Extras are like literally our podcast full of extras. Has the full Jake and T-Pain interview also hitting on Friday.
I literally only found out about this second. I read the script and I was like, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Because we chatted for a long time.
Yeah, you were
It's
there
gonna
like
be
an
good.
hour with T-Pain.
Yeah.
Kara Swisher on Recode has Recode Decode,
Yep.
Which is great if you're into tech and media. Peter Kafka also helps host that. And then Lauren Good,
Yeah.
Vergecast favorite Lauren Good, has her own new podcast, Can't Stop It, with Kara, called Too Embarrassed to Ask, where she answers your tech questions. It's true. So all this on iTunes.com/The Verge, except for the Recode ones, which are on
find
the
those,
Recode page. Just like whatever, just like locate them, all right? Anyway, you're on YouTube, search for The Vergecast. Nicola is Nicola_Fumo.
On Twitter, if you
On
still
Twitter.
use it. Snapchat's my real medium.
It's true.
Nicola Fumo, all together. No
Nicola has some
dots,
like
nothing.
deep Snapchat game. Mm-hmm. It gets real on there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't hold back.
Yeah. My favorite one the other day was when she had one that was like, "Where's Kwame?" And there's a video,
Oh yeah, when we
video
were at the Spotify party,
videos
when
of Kwame just
Fabulous
getting-
played. I mean,
yeah.
this is what happens. Kwame and I are at Fabulous parties, literally on my Snapchat. It's the best. It's what you should be doing in your free
It's
time.
like, "Where's Kwame?" And then there's Kwame just like getting down.
Yes,
It's amazing.
Actually, I was like, Kwame, hold on, I have to take a video of you because it's part of the story.
It's good. Dieter's at Backlon.
That's right.
I'm at Reckless. Jake is at Jake_K. We're available to you 24/7 on the tweets. I don't know. Whatever. It's been so long. Anyway, that was Vergecast. It's wonderful having you here. We'll be back next week where Nicola's going to tell us why she quit Facebook for an hour.
1 hour.
Interrupted by a Backblaze ad. That's it. Rock and roll. Oh,
Rock
by the
and
way,
roll.
thanks to Backblaze for paying for this.
Yeah.
That was great.
This.
Backblaze. Hit it.
Hit it.
Rock and roll.